Welcome insiders to Inside News. I'm Eric. Today is the 15th of September 2014. Apple held their event last week for the iPhone 6. That was on Tuesday, September 9th. And I didn't get to make a video talking about what Apple announced. I did do a live show with Trevor. It was about an hour and a half long. So if you want to check out that video or that live stream, I encourage you to. It was a lot of fun to make. Maybe we'll do more live streams in the future. Nonetheless, though, for all the people that don't want to watch a 1.5 hour video, here is, I guess, the condensed version of what happened to Apple's event. So getting straight into what Apple announced, well, the rumors are true, and we did see two iPhones, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. Now, the iPhone 6 has a 4.7-inch display, so it's a little bit bigger than the current iPhone, the iPhone 5S, but then the iPhone 6 Plus has an enormous 5.5-inch screen, which is really going to be competing with the Note 3 and, well, now the Note 4 by Samsung. So getting the specs of the screens out there, there's apparently now these new Retina HD screens. So yes, they're bigger, but they're also supposed to be even higher resolution. So the iPhone 6 with a 4.7-inch display has a resolution of 1334 by 750. Realistically, that is an okay resolution. It's definitely better than what we've seen on previous iPhones, but looking at some Android phones, that really isn't that much of an impressive screen. Though, with that said, Apple also did some stuff with making the contrast better, making viewing angles better. It's still going to be a very nice display. I'm just saying, if you're looking at raw specs, the resolution isn't anything too impressive, but it is still going to be good. But looking at the iPhone 6 Plus, it's a resolution of 1920 by 1080, so a full HD display with an insane PPI of 401. So this is just going to be an amazing display. It might not be as up to like a 4K display, but that's okay. It's a phone. It's just going to look amazing, especially with all the things like I just mentioned before. Apple worked on the contrast of the screen, better viewing angles. It's just going to be an amazing display. And since we're talking about the screen, might as well talk about the actual design. The design, well, the iPhone 6, obviously the iPhone 6 Plus is going to be bigger because of the bigger screen, but basically they both have a very similar design and look very similar to the iPod Touch 5th generation. They just have slight bit modifications to it. Now the power button is on the side of the device, and everything is more round, also thinner. Because of the round corners, it should fit pretty nicely in your hand, should feel very comfortable. I've never really had an iPhone that doesn't feel comfortable, at least in this day of age. But just overall, the design is very sleek, very elegant. Everything seems to be pretty well thought out. And overall, I mean, I'm fine with the design. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Of course, I haven't seen the iPhone 6 in person, but from the pictures I'm seeing, doesn't look quite bad. Shifting gears now to some technical aspects within the iPhone 6, it's being powered by Apple's new A8 processor. Last year, Apple came out with the A7. The A7 was kind of impressive. It had a 64-bit architecture, which we haven't really seen in mobile smartphones, at least till the A7 came out. And now with the new A8, nothing too fancy really came out. It's faster on the GPU side, it's faster on the CPU side, it's more power efficient. Really, what else could you ask for? Now moving on to battery life, the iPhone 6 Plus obviously is going to have a bigger battery because it's, well, a bigger phone, so it has a little bit more room to work with. So since the iPhone 6 Plus has a bigger battery, you're going to obviously get more battery life. Even though it's powering a bigger screen, yeah, that makes sense. Even though it's powering a bigger screen, there still is more battery than the iPhone 6. So you're going to get more battery life in the iPhone 6 Plus. Apple mentions how many hours and stuff you're going to get for different tasks on their website. In all honesty, I would kind of go with the iPhone 6 Plus just because it has better battery life. Better battery life always is a good thing in smartphones because smartphones always seem to die with batteries. Moving on to the camera, Apple updated the camera within the iPhone 6. It still is 8 megapixels, but apparently just is a better sensor and processor overall to better render out the images, to have lower noise, and just overall look better. The aperture is still the same at 2.2, and really nothing else too big. No 4K video. Now shooting full HD on the iPhone 6, you're you're going to be able to get up to 60 frames per second on the video, and if you want to shoot in slow motion at 720p, now you can shoot up to 240 frames per second, which is better than the 120 we had with the iPhone 5S. With the iSight camera on the back of the iPhone 6 mentioned, the iPhone 6 Plus actually has a little bit of an edge with the camera. It has an optical stabilizer built into the lens, so you're going to get a little bit less shake, a little bit less movement while holding your iPhone 6 Plus compared to the iPhone 6, which doesn't have optical stabilization. Also, just mentioning, the FaceTime camera on the front got a little bit of a boost. It's supposed to look better and whatnot, so you can take better selfies pretty much. So in general, that's the iPhone 6, the design of it, the performance and whatnot. Really not much else really happened. Software wise, Apple mentioned iOS 8. Really nothing else new happened in iOS 8 except Apple Pay. Apple Pay is a service that basically makes your iPhone a wallet. You can connect your debit cards, your credit cards, or something like that to your iPhone and pay with your iPhone. So if you're in a place that supports Apple Pay, basically just scan your phone instead of, well, scanning your credit card. It's going to use NFC to send the data back and forth between the receiving device and your iPhone, and you're going to be able to pay with Touch ID. So anytime you want to make a payment, you have to scan your finger with the Touch ID at the bottom of your phone. But what if you're too busy, you have too much in your hands to take out your phone and scan your phone to pay for your items? Obviously, stealing's not an option, so what about paying with your wrist? Well, in 2015, you're going to be able to pay with your wrist with Apple's Watch. That's right, Apple mentioned the Apple Watch. It's going to start off at $350. It's not out just yet. It's going to be coming out sometime in early 2015. The exact date is kind of unknown. The design of the Apple Watch seems to be quite nice. I don't really have much to complain about it. It does have a touchscreen, obviously, for the screen. I mean, all smartwatches do. But Apple also added a little bit of a twist, because on the side of the device, there is this little crown dial. It's, well, I think called the crown, and it's another way to interact with your watch. So instead of just using a touchscreen for your watch, you can have a little dial kind of like an ordinary watch. Obviously, the watch is going to let you keep time, but it's also going to be connecting to your iPhone with Bluetooth and get all your iPhone notifications as long as the app is supported. So if I get a text message, it's going to go on my watch. If I get a Facebook notification, it's going to go on my watch. I think you get the point. It looks like the Apple Watch is going to have a decent amount of applications on it, so you can do a decent amount with it. Of course, all the information is kind of unknown. We're not exactly sure what's specifically going to be on it, but we have a general idea, and well, what Apple showed us. There's going to be a few versions of the Apple Watch. There's the ordinary one that probably regular consumers are going to buy. There's going to be a sport one, which probably is going to have a better band so it doesn't like get all sweaty and stuff while it's on your wrist. Maybe even a little bit more water resistant. And also there's going to be a gold watch, actually made of gold. That's probably going to cost a decent amount of money. Like I mentioned, the Apple Watch is going to be a little bit water resistant. You can't go swimming with it, can't take a shower with it, but if you like wash your hands, if you're in the rain, you shouldn't really have to worry about getting your watch wet. Besides that though, we don't really know a whole lot about Apple's watch. There's a little bit more information on Apple's site, so if you want to check it out, link is down below. But yeah, that is Apple's event. The iPhone 6 came out, the iPhone 6 Plus, and Apple's Watch. If you want to see any more detailed information about any of these products, let me know. Maybe I'll make a separate video going into even more detail on these specific products. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Help the channel any way you can. Anyway guys, my name's Eric. This is Tech Inside. I'm signing out.